All right. Good morning. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Everybody who's not on yet. Drag my feet here a little bit. Let Instagram connect. And all the stuff, the platforms, as they say. It pops up there first, I guess. And we'll go here and see if I get the comments opened up. As they say. I don't want to listen to me on rewind. Yeah. How you guys doing today? Talk to me. Pop in the chat. 1 to 10. How's things going? I'm probably about I'm going to say a 7. Oh, we can't say 7. 6 or 8. I'll give it an 8. Feel that cold coming in. You can't travel these days without coming down with something. So I feel something brewing. Matthew Tolman, good morning. What's up, Ben Bryant, my man? We can't travel all over the country and not pick something up. We go down to stairwells like this, holding hands, open doors like that, wash your hands 4,000 times. Probably come down with something. So we've been hoping to avoid it because Wendy's got a hip replacement surgery on Monday. So we don't want the scurv. So Luke McGee, what's going on, buddy? Talk to you in a little bit this morning. Hope Hannah's birthday was great last night. And Mike Rudolph checking in. Good to see you guys. Yeah, if it warmed up 40 degrees from yesterday, still 20 outside now, Ben Bryant says. Yeah, I didn't even check today, but I know it's cold. They said it was going to be like 1 degree this morning. So that's chilly in my book. Cold enough so that when the dogs go out, they come right back in. So I see Careful Cleaning joined us on Instagram. Good to see all you guys this morning. Damn. Coffee number 2. 69 on the sleep score last night. It's not great. It's not great. Up at 2 a.m. with the dog, let him out. He's got me trained. I don't have him trained. So that needs to change. I think I grumbled something about putting him on a flight to Texas. But anyway, today I wanted to switch it up a little bit and go switch it up a little bit. Go hard in the paint on business. So we've been talking about a lot of the personal stuff, procrastination and, the head trash, the limiting beliefs, getting you going, all that motivation, inspiration stuff. But let's switch it up and go a little sales route, talk sales a little bit. I did 20 years as a contractor and I've been in a lot of kitchens and around a lot of people's homes and realized maybe without knowing it that everybody buys differently. And also people sell how they buy. So I never knew any of that stuff until I got some sales training. So I wanted to share some stuff with you. Hey, Dom, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Dom's one of my guys from our Coach to Coaches group, alumni group, and we do a virtual summit together when I show up. Got another one coming, so I'll be there, buddy. But yeah, I want to talk about sales, and I'm doing a different kind of sales now, which is coaching. Hey, buy my stuff. Hey, sign up for our programs. Hey, do this. And it's not necessarily somebody that invited me over to their house because they heard about me from their neighbor. So it's a little bit different. I got to be a little bit better at what I do. But I wanted to talk about follow-up, and it really is a game changer in the sales world. And I figured, hey, you call somebody, they you give them the price, they kind of ghost you, they don't get back to you. But a significant number of sales are closed after multiple follow-ups. That may sound like you're being a pain in the ass. I don't want to do that, Bob. I'm not calling that guy again. He didn't really give me a great vibe, right? But many of your competition are going to stop after just one interaction, one attempt. They're going to go away. What if you check in the next week? And for God's sakes, don't say I'm calling to follow up. Don't say that ever. Don't say, hey, I'm just calling to follow up. What's going on? No, we don't do that. We're going to find a different way to frame that, okay? But the follow-up can be your secret weapon to boosting sales and building lasting relationships. Yeah, there are coaches everywhere. But you're old, Bob. We know you've been there and done it. Yeah, sure. Speaking of good salespeople, Nick Salmons just jumped on. So Nick was sharing some stuff about follow-up today. And a lot of what I'm going to share with you today I got from a guy that I recently met in Steve Rosenberg's program. His name's Manny Vargas. And online, I'm going to give you his link later because he's a super cool dude. And he calls himself That Follow-Up Guy. And he has a great blog called thatfollowupfix.com. So I want you guys to, I'm going to put that in the chat after, because some of the inspiration from this talk today came directly from Manny and him showing me that, dude, you got to follow up. First time I met him, he's like, how many calls are you making a day? And I'm like, calls? Yeah. Who are you calling? I go, what do you mean? He goes, you got to call people. I go, like, just call them up? He goes, yep. I go, oh, I'm going to have to get uncomfortable here. I can see this. But follow-up plays a critical role in building trust and relationships, right straight through, right? And in industries like construction, like many of the people on this call are in, where projects, can be substantial, timelines that are extended, long-term stuff. Trust is paramount, right? We got to build trust. So regular follow-ups demonstrate your commitment and reliability, laying that foundation for a strong client relationship. Then you got to stay top of mind. Does anybody know what top of mind means? Exactly that. Being on the top of somebody's mind, being on the front, being somebody that they think about. Clients have numerous options today. They don't have to go with you. You're not the only game in town. Lots of distractions. They could be thinking about a project or bringing on, a new person in their life, whether it's a coach or whatever, advisor, mentor, and then they go on vacation. Then something happens in their family. So you don't know what's going on with people. So consistent follow-ups, ensure that you're going to remain in the forefront of their mind when they're ready to make a decision. Tim Carmody, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. So stay top of mind. It costs nothing. And then we want to address concerns and provide value all the time. So doing a follow-up offers you that one more touch, to alleviate dulls. Hey, you having any questions on anything? Just thought I'd check back in and see where you guys were in your decision-making process and continue to show that your services probably meet their needs. Yeah, pay attention to the details, Dave says, and follow through. Absolutely. And contractors get a bad rap. We never call anybody back, right? And I've been guilty of that myself, right? And did you know, and I learned this from Steve Rosenberg, that the average person buys somewhere between the 4th and 12th touch. Are you kidding me? I'm like, and what? Yeah, somewhere around 8. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And in reading some of Manny's stuff, Manny Vargas, that follow-up guy, the follow-up fix, he emphasizes that effective follow-up is not about bombarding clients, but about strategic, personalized communication that resonates. So be original, be calculated. It's not the quantity of the follow-ups, it's the quality and relevance that drive the success of the sale. So let's talk about some effective follow-up strategies. Yeah, and you guys, in the meantime, pop in the chat. Do you guys follow up? And if so, how do you do it? So timely responses, right? Aim to follow up within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. Bang. I'm doing some Facebook ads now for our event that's coming up on February 22nd in Portland, Maine. See what I did there? It's coming up. When somebody responds to my Facebook ad, I've got to get to them quick because some of them don't remember that they filled it out. They're like, who are you? So we got to follow up. We got to call. Hey, I noticed you expressed some interest in our event. Wanted to see if you had any questions. How about personalized communication? Tailor your messaging to each client. Not hello there on your email. It's hi, Tim. Good morning, Tim. Right? It's personalized. Reference a previous conversation. Hey, I remember last week you mentioned that you'd like to hear from me midweek. Here I am, just circling back with you. I want to make sure that you've got what you need and for everything you're doing to make your decision. Show some genuine interest. If you set a time when you're going to call back right at that time, right to the second, and drive home that point that I'm interested in working with you. Guys, this isn't just construction, okay? It's across the board in business. And then utilize multiple channels. We're going to email. We're going to phone call. Social media. That reach clients through their preferred medium. Figure out if they're a texter, right? Some people just like to text. They don't want your phone call. We got one client that, she doesn't even look at her email. Hey, if you send me an email, send me a text first because I don't even look at it. Okay, we know that. Tony Ruffin, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on the live last night. Yeah, use those multiple channels, all right? And then provide valuable content. Hey, if they're a texter and they're on their phone, boom, hey, I just got thinking about our meeting last week. I wanted to send you a patio just like we did, just like the one we were talking about. We did this last month over in Middletown, whatever. Hey, is this what you were thinking about for a door frame? Boom, engagement, right? We're trying to get to that somewhere between 4th and 12th touch, right? You think the other guys are doing that? Probably not. Then implement a follow-up schedule. Okay, just determine that structured timeline where you are going to follow up and maintain consistency without being a pain in the ass. All right, I've got a guy that wanted to help me with my coaching business. He's going to make me a millionaire, right? He's hitting me on the DMs on Instagram, and it's just annoying me. And he called me repeatedly. He said, like, when can I get a call with you? I said, tell you what, call me back at the end of the year if I'm not at X per month. Okay. So then he sliced his own throat by going into my he found a Calendly link on one of my posts where I was offering a free 30-minute strategy call, and he booked himself on my calendar. Wrong answer, right? He pissed me off. I'm done. Out, gone. Unfollow, block, see you later. I'm not buying your stuff. If that's what you're gonna do. That's not, to me, that's not creative. That's being a pain in the ass. All right. You want to use your CRM, right? Track those interactions, set the reminders. You guys can automate a lot of this stuff, but don't make it vanilla and don't make it look like you're just getting an automatic email. Hey, if you got a newsletter and you're posting that monthly, that's different, right? But if it's, hey, John, I want to check in with you on the $180,000 project we talked about last week, that's different. That's not an automated email, not in my book anyway. That's a phone call. And it can be about how you frame stuff too. Hey, John, just wanted to see if you had any questions, or versus, hey, John, when is a good time to chat about the project? In other words, I'm not asking you if you want to have a phone call. I'm saying we're going to have a phone call, right? So don't do these things. Don't do what that guy did to me, that over persistence, right? Excessive contact. It can be off-putting, right? Balance persistence with respect for their time. Just checking in. Follow your gut on this stuff, guys. You got to get to know each client. And then avoid that, like I said, that generic messaging, one size fits all. Personalize it. That'll increase the engagement. Hey, you sent them an email. If you text, let somebody know who you are. They may not have you in their phone. Hey, John, Bob Turner here. Just checking back with you. You mentioned this. I did that. When's a good time to get on the phone and kick it around a little more? Whatever. You can be casual, right? The other one that we neglect is our existing clients. We get a job and we don't follow up or communicate with our existing clients. Right? I was out of town last week. We didn't have our coaching calls. Every single person that I coach one-on-one got a text from me or a phone call midweek. Just checking in, seeing how you're doing. I was tied up. I really couldn't get on the phone. But yeah, Matthew Tolman says, what about text? Text, if you can ask them when you're talking to them, hey, do you text? I didn't want to assume it was okay. I didn't want to invade, but if it's easier for you to text, how do you, very simply, hey, how is it best to communicate with you guys going forward? Email me. Don't call me during the day. I've got a high-level government job. I can't be bothered, right? And I don't want you blowing up my phone with text. Okay, so again, it's not just for prospects; it's for regular check-ins with your clients. It can lead to repeat business or even referrals. I learned recently through Steve that each client that you have is worth 5.7 referrals. I'll let you guys do the math on that. Ryan Mativier, how you doing, buddy? Each client's worth like 5+ referrals. You kidding me? Farm that existing client base, guys. All right, so here's where I call you out. Identify 3 clients or prospects you've been meaning to follow up with, and follow up this week. Write it down how you're going to do it. Reach out with a personalized message or valuable content. I messaged a guy yesterday. Hey, I saw you post on Facebook. It reminded me to circle back with you. How you making out? Simple. Thanks, Bob. All set. Okay, great. I might check back in a month. You still all set? Right? Be like, hey, this guy wants to work with me. Matt Moore is watching. Good morning, Matt Moore from New Hampshire. Yeah. And then, guys, some of you had successful stories in follow-up. Has this triggered anything that you're thinking of, like, hey, remember that time I did this and I got that? Put it in the chat. Let everybody else learn from you guys. Let's grow together on this. All right. Tony says, shot himself in the foot. Yes, he did. Danielle says, lots of people piss me off with the bombarding oversell. How about that person that follows you? You're like, oh, screw it. I'll follow them back. And bam, they blow up your DMs. Does anybody ever buy? It's like, that's like trying to change somebody's political opinion on Facebook. Has anyone ever done that? Like, really? Hey, good man. Super glad. I don't know you from Adam, but I couldn't be happier you blew up my DMs this morning after just friending me. I'd love to buy your stuff. He hasn't built trust. There's no rapport there. Let a little time go by. I love to invite people to my free Facebook group, but if I find somebody has 65 plus mutual friends with me, I'll shoot them a friend request. You know why? Because we're all growing our network. That's okay. It's not creepy. Hey, I see you know Johnny Ortiz. I see you know Matt Moore. I'm going to shoot you a friend request. You know why? Because you're probably on the same path I am. And maybe a month later, I might say, hey, man, check out my free page. Yeah, Johnny says the fortune is in the follow-up. Yeah, fortune is in the follow-up. And oddly enough, 55 years old, never really focused on the value of it. So guys, farm that existing client base. Go back through to your previous clients. If for no other reason, just to jump up, touch the rim, say, how you doing, just checking in. Oh, man, I was at a cookout last weekend. I was trying to remember your name, and a guy was asking, he wanted to do this. Now I've got your contact info again. I'm going to send it on. Okay, because people go on with their lives. They forget who they worked with, right? So reach out, follow up, and for God's sakes, don't say, hey, I'm just calling to follow up, and then sit there. No, that's not sales, guys. Figure out a creative way to do it. Get to that fourth touch, right? The first one is when they call. Second one, you call them back, you touch it. Maybe the next one is when you offer up a proposal. A fourth one is when you set a time to talk about the proposal and see what's going on. Maybe they need more time. Hey, they got to talk to their wife. We set another one. Now we're at 5. Now we're in that, what do they call that in football? The red zone, right? We're going to close these guys. So have some fun with it too, right? Gamify it, right? I've had a bunch of discovery calls lately, and I'll say to Wendy, I'm going downstairs. I'm going to burn this place flat. I'm going to close this guy. I'm going to get him on my team. He needs to work with me. Get excited about it. Okay. It doesn't just drop out of the sky. People aren't just going to follow you, find you, sign up with you because you're you. Create value. Don't be afraid to deliver free stuff, free knowledge. When I would go and drop, go to somebody's kitchen project and remodel, right? I just pour into them for a half an hour or an hour about just answer their questions. Don't hold things close to the vest. Well, if you work with us, that's where we deliver our top tier plan. And no, that's a bunch of BS. Come from a place of service, and you'll be surprised how much the cash register rings for you. So, guys, I want to thank you for being on today. Follow up, okay? Follow up, and I'm going to put the link in for Manny Vargas. That follow up fix is where a lot of this talk today was inspired. And check out Johnny Ortiz online too. He goes live every day, and he's a great dude. He's just out there helping people, and I love Johnny. So I'll put the links in. And before I go, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. The Edge Live on February 22nd in Portland, Maine. We sold a whole table full of tickets yesterday. I want to thank Lisa Petroselli from Westbrook, Maine. She's bringing her whole Train Your Inner Athlete group. So if you've got a company, you've got a group you train with, you've got people you'd like to have there and sit with and level up together on Saturday, the 22nd, DM me. I'll make it worth it. Okay. We'll get you guys a discount. If you're going to put 8 people in the room, we're going to make it worth your while. Okay. So we'll put that link in the comments as well. Guys, get out there and do good things. I would challenge you to today just to look back at the people you've done business with in the last year. Pick 3. Hey, Isaac, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Go through the people you've done business with in the last year. Guess what those leads cost? Some of you guys track very well. You know what your customer acquisition cost is. You know what your cost per lead is. Many of you don't. But you can do some things that are free that get you in front of people, like going live every day on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, right? Amazing. So anyway, guys, put in the chat how you doing, whether this was helpful for you. If you're watching it on the rewind, just just post in there a fist bump or rewind that you enjoyed it. If you did, send it out to somebody, share it with somebody. You know someone that's in sales. If you're in business and you're working somewhere, you're in sales. I had a PM one time that would say to me, I don't need to learn this sales stuff. I'm not in sales. You sure are in sales from the second you get out of your truck and have that first interaction with a customer. You're in sales. Come up on a change order, you're in sales. Hey, what do you think about this porch? You're in sales. You might be upselling. Think of yourself as a salesperson. We're all doing it. Even in our own little customer personal interactions, everybody's always selling. So anyway, Tony, you're welcome. I'm glad you found the time to get on here this morning. I'd love to do this a little earlier to get people before they head out to work. I'd love to do it a little later, grab some of those West Coast guys, but it can't hit everywhere. So anyway, I thank you guys. I thank you for being on today. I'm going to put a couple of links in the Facebook comments right after this. Go check out that followupfix.com. Manny's a good dude, and he opened my eyes to some of this stuff. And I can learn a lot from him and still will. So, guys, have a great day. Do good things. Work on your edge. And don't forget to sign up for the event on 2/22. Talk to you later, guys. We'll see you.